Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Robinson, CEO and co-founder of Hireology, and I'm here to give you a quick rundown on what the December 2021 Bureau of Labor Statistics Jobs Report means for you. This month's report showed continued signs of an uneven recovery as we round out 2021. Employers added 199,000 new jobs in December, which is less than half of what experts predicted. It's clear that the road to economic recovery is not a linear one, but rather one with many ups and downs, especially as we navigate new COVID variants, rising inflation, and supply chain issues. These numbers could also be a function of full employment given the continued decreasing unemployment rate. So to date, we're roughly 3.6 million jobs below the February 2020 numbers. And as I mentioned, the unemployment rate dropped to 3.9% in December. Low unemployment numbers mean that most of the folks who can and want to work are able to. Of course, this is a great thing for many of those who experience pandemic-related job losses, but for employers, this is a real challenge. There are significantly fewer people in the workforce than there were before the pandemic due to a variety of factors like the Great Resignation, I'm sure you've heard about, early retirements, lack of childcare in this ongoing pandemic, and more. Experts estimate that there are 2 unemployed workers for every 3 available job openings, so it stays really tight out there. Now, gains this month were led by businesses in the leisure and hospitality industry, followed by professional and business services and manufacturing. Now, leisure and hospitality has historically led the way in terms of gains throughout 2021, so this should come as no surprise. This group lost the most jobs at the onset of the pandemic, which means they now have the most to gain. Now, while consistently on the top of this list each month, this industry has struggled the most with the current hiring crisis. Consumer demand in this space is high. People want to get out there and spend, but there's been a lack of job seekers looking for work in this industry, largely because of the many reasons we've consistently discussed in this series: health concerns, lack of childcare, working condition expectations, career change opportunities, and more. Hireology's numbers once again reflect the overall country's numbers. We saw a slight decrease in the number of hires made in December, which can largely be attributed to the holiday season combined with many of the same challenges I mentioned earlier. All of this creates a perfect storm where it's incredibly difficult to hire people. Now, I've said in the past that I see this trend continuing well into 2022, and I stand by that prediction. After seeing December's numbers, in fact, I would predict this happens to be challenging at this level for probably the next 12 to 18 months at a minimum. That said, as always, there are things you can do to stand out and win in this applicant economy. And as an HR technology company that's worked with organizations across all industries, we've seen firsthand what works. The biggest trends we're seeing as we head into the new year are that companies are getting creative and going above and beyond what they've relied on in the past to find new job applicants. I've said this before, but HR should never be seen as a cost center. Your people are your biggest opportunity to help your company grow and drive revenue. So at a time when hiring is particularly tough, it's important to give human resources the attention and investment it deserves. So to stand out as we continue to navigate a really tough hiring crisis, my advice to you, dear listener, for the month of January is to invest in these 4 people and HR areas. First, your recruitment marketing tactics. Think like a traditional marketer. Stop relying on job boards alone and instead add some new approaches to your toolbox. Consider channels like emerging social media, like TikTok, billboards, digital display ads, and perhaps most effectively, word-of-mouth marketing through your existing employees, which leads me to number 2, your referral program. Speaking of, it's time to breathe some new life into your employee referral program. You probably have one, but chances are it's just not driving the results that it could or that you expect. Get creative with things like internal email and SMS campaigns or driving participation by gamifying your referral program. Third, your communication channels. You just can't cold call people or rely on email anymore. Stand out and cut through the clutter by texting your potential job seekers. With text, they're more likely to read your message and respond by a factor of about 3. And even if they don't, they'll start to remember the name of your company for future opportunities. And finally, your employer branding. Higher pay is just table stakes right now. You can't compete on that alone. Think of other ways to stand out, like offering growth opportunities or flexibility, workplace benefits that go beyond health insurance, and make these unique offerings known. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks again for tuning in. And as always, please reach out to us at Hireology if you're looking for any recruiting or hiring support with your technology as we head into the new year. Good luck out there. We'll talk to you next month.